Alright, so it seemed that most of you agreed on that the Cdirk should have a rework, and today I'll bring you exactly that. Isn't it great getting what the title promises you? I mean, it would be a bummer if you ordered a labeled microwave and got a toaster instead. Buff Cdirk was actually a meme for quite a while back in 2018, and of course, the mods just decided to ban the posts. Seems like we never really left that topic, so let's just pull it back out of the hat. So, the Dirk of Cronus is known for its amazing sprite, which I can only agree on. This item surely promised a lot, and it does deliver in some way. This was one of the highest DPS daggers in the game before Aetherite. And since then, this item has just been lacking some uniqueness. And I'm not sure if I'm really satisfied with those 6 wisdom. I just think that it pales in comparison to what I'm about to introduce. Idea number 1. Bleeding. For a dagger that looks coated in poison, it doesn't damage a lot. Now I know that's relative, but we could do something more with it. Let's give it the bleeding debuff. No, not on yourself. Hitting an enemy would trigger a 1-second bleeding debuff. Maybe even 2 seconds if you're feeling generous. The bleeding debuff do have rules to abide to. It drains 20 HP per second, stops your vitality, and it cannot kill players. Now that's when affected to players, so against monsters, I certainly think it should be able to kill them. And stopping regeneration? Maybe? It could be like a combined sickness debuff? Either way, it would be very effective against enemies with high defense. I would even consider giving it a longer duration than 2 seconds, since that would only be, what, 40 HP. I would keep the damage, as in 130 to 250, but I might just increase the rate of fire, just in general, to all of these ideas. I think it's sad to see a so easily acquired ST go toe-to-toe with one of the rarest items in the game. So I think we comfortably could place it way higher than the Aetherite dagger, but still don't make it too OP. So that was idea 1, if you're not gonna apply that to the Poison Fang dagger and make it a white backdrop, that is. Idea 2. The coolest one. Alright, no spoilers on that one. I was thinking, why not have lifesteal? Listen, the Necromancer is yesterday, okay? We want an item that's cool. An item that lifesteals. How cool would that be? We do know that the skull sort of lifesteals, so we already have that mechanic in the game. Try and convince me that the Dirk of Cronus doesn't look like an item that would lifesteal. Now I have an idea of how this lifesteal feature would work. For each shot that hits the enemy, 0.5 or 1% of the damage dealt will be given back to you. I think only testing will determine if this item would be OP. If 0.5 seems too low, I mean, just lower it down to 0.2 or something. Either way, I would farm the shit out of this item if it had lifesteal. That would be so cool. Idea 3. Buff it. Clearly, you could just buff it. I mean, it's already a high-risk, high-reward item with the low range. Just bump up the damage. Maybe increase the rate of fire too. Idea 4. Doom Dagger. Alright, you might think this just means bumping up the damage. How about pools of poison that deals damage to the enemies around it? When you deal damage to an enemy, blue and purple pools of poison would appear next to the enemy. These pools of poison would be able to deal damage to other enemies, or in a special case, maybe even give the cursed debuff. In summary, dealing damage to enemies would trigger pools of poison. Enemies walking into that poison would give them the cursed debuff. That could seriously present some very good situational use. So, in conclusion to all of this, I wish for this item's rework to be simple. Something that sticks to the game as it is. Honestly, the one of these ideas I presented which I'm most in favor of is the lifesteal. I like using abilities that are already in the game, because reworking an old school item like it's a new item, yikes. I still want this item to radiate that OG RotMG vibe, and I'm a firm believer in that both lifesteal and bleeding would deliver. I am sure Bikuribox will make a video on this topic too, so make sure you check it out on his channel when that pops up. If it does, I'll catch you there, else I'll see you in the next video. Also guys, make sure you check out the lore animation series I'm doing on the Lost Halls lore. It's so interesting and I'm so proud of that project. It's on screen right now and it's only 1 to 2 minutes. This is it, and I'll see you